My name is Gail Clayton, and I'm here today to talk to you about this book called The pH Miracle. The pH Miracle was written by a man named Dr. Robert Young and his wife Shelley Young. Dr. Young has degrees in biology, nutrition, and naturopathic medicine, and his wife Shelley is a licensed massage therapist, and she specializes in lymphatic drainage massage. Together they wrote this inspiring book, and based on the concept that a French scientist by the name of Antoine Béchamp came up with, called pleomorphism, which is basically the belief that microbes are already inside of us and they give rise to illness and disease based on an imbalance in the body's terrain. And the terrain, it consists of our body fluids such as urine, saliva, and semen, and the pH of our body. And when the balance of the terrain is off, then the bacteria or the pathogens in the body will proliferate, causing illness. Now, the central theory of this diet focuses on the food that we eat to be more alkaline, and because of an alkaline food will essentially lead to a more alkaline tissues and cells in our body, which are more disease resistant. So the basic principles of this diet is to eat alkaline foods, keep the caloric intake at a moderate level, have good hydration, and also good oxygen intake, exercise, high mineral intake, and incorporate some lifestyle changes to reduce stress, lymphatic drainage massages, and other detox modalities. Now, the science behind this theory is that it's pretty much similar to most other health-based diets, in that it focuses on lots of fruits and vegetables and juices, and but to include foods that are very, very alkaline, and that 80% of the foods that you eat must be an alkaline type food. Fish, nuts, seeds, legumes are also included in this diet. Acidic foods such as sugar, refined, processed foods, dairy products, corn, wheat, must be completely eliminated from this diet. Now, Dr. Young came up with an acronym called COWS, and that stands for, the C in COWS stands for chlorophyll, which comes from green leafy vegetables. Oil is for the O, and that's essential oils. W for alkaline water, and S for alkalinizing salts. And he describes alkalinizing salts as sea salts, Celtic salts, and a Himalayan salt. And he summarizes how to initiate this diet in 4 steps. The first step is transition. For the first 12 weeks, you transition your current diet from and start replacing some of the acidic foods in your diet with more alkalinizing foods. Then step 2 is a 4-week cleanse, and he proposes using supplements and laxatives to get rid of the stored toxins in your body. And then step 3 is an 8 to 12 week strict alkaline diet with 70 to 80% of your food intake being alkaline. And then step 4 is a maintenance, where it's a little more liberal, and it allows for a few other foods to be included. Now, we know that the pH of the blood has a very narrow window, and it must stay within this pH, and it's probably the most important biochemical balance in our body. And our diets can have a lot can really play a role in maintaining this blood pH. And before the agricultural revolution, our diets were a lot more alkaline, and an alkaline diet is high in potassium. And the potassium to sodium ratio before the agricultural revolution was about 10 to 1. Well, in today's diet, it's 1 to 3. And so by returning to eating a more alkaline diet, the way our grandparents and our great-grandparents did, and get rid of these sugars and processed foods, we can reap the rewards of that, which is a better potassium to sodium ratio. We'll have higher intracellular magnesium, and we will also have an increase in growth hormone, which is really good for cognitive skills and memory and learning, and also for cardiovascular health. And the alkalinity of this diet can also be beneficial on those of you that are undergoing chemotherapy, because a lot of the chemotherapy drugs depend on more of a alkaline pH to be effective. So by including all of these alkaline foods, we can essentially reduce morbidity and mortality and age more gracefully without disease and illness. Dr. Young is a proponent of using salt therapy. This is one of the things that I'm not so sure that I agree with in Dr. Young's book. He says that we should have about 3 teaspoons of salt daily, 1 teaspoon in a glass of water 3 times a day of salt, but only an alkalinizing salt, which he calls Himalayan, Celtic, and sea salt. However, this amount of salt will provide 9 grams of sodium, and the recommended daily allowance or daily upper intake of sodium today is about 2.3 grams, which is about 2/3 of a teaspoon. So although these alkalinizing salts may provide a lot of minerals that our body needs, the amount of sodium we get is unwarranted, in my opinion. And the restriction of the fruits in his diet is a bit concerning to me too, because he limits the fruit intake to basically lemons, limes, grapefruit, and pomegranates. He strongly recommends that we eliminate any kind of acidic fruit, such as apples and berries. However, I believe that the benefit gained from adding these other apples and berries, and the colors and the pigments and the minerals and enzymes that they provide for us, far outweigh any acidity that we may get from the sugar. And so overall, I believe that, and it's my opinion, that this is a very good concept for a diet, alkalinizing the body and increasing the pH for better health benefits. But to follow it the way that Dr. Young plans out in the book, it may be a little too restrictive for many people, unless you're very ill and you're highly motivated to make some drastic changes to get your health back. I think that I would use a modified version of this diet in my clients that includes some of these fruits that in smaller quantities, and also to eliminate a lot of the salt that he recommends. Thank you very much for listening.